Good evening, one and all. Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2022, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and nation celebrating 75 years of independence, and UN Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030, in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute and Center for Arts, Sciences, and Well-being. Today, we are commemorating National Broadcasting Day. So before we start our proceedings, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue to today's session. Today is very important day, very historic day. That is where our communication started. We all know with radio, and it played a very significant role and is also playing a significant role even today. Today we are, even the younger generations, older, all the generations are hooked up to the radio, though it was not the traditional FMs, traditional stations, but FM radio is very popular among the youth, young and aged. So let's briefly look into the historic and the facts of Broadcasting Day. National Broadcasting Day. On this day in 1927, the first ever radio broadcast in the country went on air from the Bombay station. All India Radio is accessible to almost the entire population of country and nearly over 99% of the total area, and it is the largest broadcasting organizations in the world, serving to inform, educate and entertain in masses since its inception, truly living up to its motto, Bahujan Hitaya, Bahujan Sukhaya. So with this, we will start our today's session. When we look into history of All India Radio, which is the official broadcaster of India, public broadcaster of India. In June 1923, the Radio Club of Bombay made the first ever broadcast in the country. This was followed by setting up the Calcutta Radio Club. 5 months later, the Indian Broadcasting Company, IBC, came into being on July 23rd, 1927, only to face liquidation in less than 3 years. In April 1930, the Indian Broadcasting Service under the Department of Industries and Labour commenced its operations on an experimental basis. Lionel Feldman was appointed the first controller of broadcasting in August 1935. In the following month, Akashvani Mysore, a private radio station was set up. On June 8, 1936, the Indian State Broadcasting Service became All India Radio. In short, AIR. The Central News Organization, CNO, came into existence in August 1937. In the same year, All India Radio came under the Department of Communications, and 4 years later came under the Department of Information and Broadcasting. When India attained independence, there were 6 radio stations in India at Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, Madras, Tiruchirappalli, and Lucknow. There were 3 in Pakistan, in Peshawar, Lahore, and Dhaka. Air then had a coverage of just 2.5% of the area and 11% of the population. The following year, CNO was split into 2 divisions, the News Services Division, NSD, and External Services Division, ESD. In 1956, the name Akashvani was adopted for the national broadcaster. The Vivid Bharati service was launched in 1957 with popular film music as its main component. The phenomenal growth achieved by All India Radio has made it one of the largest media organizations in the world. With a network of 262 radio stations, Air is Air today is accessible to almost entire population of the country and nearly 92% of the total area to 99%. A broadcasting giant, All India Radio today broadcasts in 23 languages and 146 dialects, catering to a vast spectrum of socio-economically and culturally diverse populace. Programs of External Services Division are broadcast in 11 Indian and 16 foreign languages, reaching out to more than 100 countries. These external broadcasts aim to keep the overseas listeners informed about developments in the country and provide a rich fare of entertainment as well. The News Services Division of All India Radio broadcasts 647 bulletins daily for a total duration of nearly 56 hours in about 90 languages, dialects in home, regional, external, and DTH services. So 314 news headlines on hourly basis are also being mounted on FM mode from 41 All India radio stations. 44 regional news units originate 649 daily news bulletins in 75 languages. In addition to the daily language news bulletins, the News Services Division also mounts number of news-based programs on typical subjects from Delhi and its regional news units. All India Radio operates at present 18 FM stereo channels called as Air FM Rainbow, targeting the urban audience in a refreshing style of presentation. Four more FM channels called Air FM Gold broadcast composite news and entertainment programs from Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, and Mumbai, with the FM wave sweeping the country. All India Radio is augmenting its medium wave transmission with additional FM transmitters at regional stations. In keeping with the government decision for the transition to the digital mode of transmission, All India Radio is switching from analog to digital in a phased manner. The technology adopted is the digital radio mondial or DRM with the target of complete digitization by 2070. The listeners can look forward to highly enhanced transmission quality in the near future. So when we look at the milestones, the phenomenal growth achieved by All India Radio through decades has made it one of the largest media organizations in the world. Today, All India Radio reaches out to 99.18% of the population spread over about 91.85% of the area through 262 broadcasting centers. The inception can be traced back to the enforcement of the Telegraph Act on October 1st, 1885. And major landmarks of broadcasting can be seen as in 1920s, June 1923, broadcast of programs by the Radio Club of Bombay. November 1923, Calcutta Radio Club has put out its programs. In July 31st, 1924, broadcasting service initiated by the Madras Presidency Radio Club. July 23, 1927, India Broadcast Company (IBC) Bombay station inaugurated by Lord Irwin, the Viceroy of then India. August 26, 1927, Calcutta station of IBC inaugurated. In 1930s, March 1st, 1930, IBC went into liquidation. April 1st, 1930, Indian State Broadcasting Service under Department of Industries and Labour commenced on experimental basis. March 1935, the post of Controller of Broadcast instituted, and August 30, 1935, Lionel Felden appointed the first Controller of Broadcasting in India. On September 10, 1935, Akashvani Mysore, a private radio station, was set up. January 19, 1936, first news bulletin was broadcasted from All India Radio. June 8, 1936, Indian State Broadcasting Service became All India Radio. August 1st, 1937, Central News Organizations came into existence. November 1937, All India Radio came under the Department of Communication. October 1st, 1939, external service started with Pushtu broadcast. In 1940s, October 24th, 1941, All India Radio came under the Department of Information and Broadcasting, in short I&B. January 1st, 1942, Akashvani Mysore was taken over by Maharaja of Mysore. February 23rd, 1946, All India Radio came under the Department of Information and Arts. September 10th, 1946, Department of Information and Arts changed to Department of Information and Broadcasting. In 1947, at the time of partition, 6 radio stations in India, that is Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, Madras, Tiruchirappalli, and Lucknow, and 3 radio stations in Pakistan, Peshawar, Lahore, and Dhaka. So these 3 stations were in the process of partition, left to Pakistan, and the 6 radio stations were in India based on geographical location. So September 1948, Central News Organization (CNO) was split into 2 divisions. news service division, and also external service division. So each has its unique responsibilities. And in 1950s, July 20, 1952, first national program of music broadcast from All India Radio. July 29, 1953, national program of talks, English, commenced from All India Radio. In 1954, first Radio Sangeet Sammelan was held. August 15, 1956, national program of play commenced, and October 3rd, 1957, Vivid Bharati services were started. November 1st, 1959, first TV station in Delhi started as part of All India Radio. In 1960s, November 1st, 1967, commercials on Vivid Bharati were introduced. July 21st, 1969, Yuvavani service was started from Delhi. August 15th, 1969, 1000 kilowatt superpower medium wave transmitter commissioned at Calcutta, Mogra. 1970s, January 8, 1971, 1000 kilowatt superpower medium wave transmitter commissioned at Rajkot. In 1974, Akashvani annual awards were instituted, and April 1st, 1976, Doordarshan was separated from All India Radio. 1977, introduction of political party broadcast was started. And July 23rd, 1977, first ever FM service was inaugurated from Madras. In 1980s, May 1st, 1983, All India Radio Baroda became a CBS station. On September 14th, 1984, two high-power 250 kilowatt shortwave transmitters inaugurated at Aligarh. October 30, 1984, first local station at Nagarcoil started. January 2000, sorry, on January 26, 1985, commercials on primary channel were also introduced. August 15th, 1985, introduction of hourly news bulletins were introduced, and 1985, all India radio stations were provided with 5-channel satellite receiver terminals. May 18th, 1988, was introduced introduction of national channel. April 8, 1989, commissioning of integrated Northeast service. So Northeast services also got this radio services. 1990s, March 2nd, 1990, the 100th station of All India Radio commissioned at Warangal, then Andhra Pradesh and now Telangana. March 10th, 1990, two 500 kilowatt superpower shortwave transmitters inaugurated at Bangalore. 1990, All India Radio introduced Lasa Kaul Award for the best production on the theme of national integration. In the same year, All India Radio introduced award for the best news correspondent of the year. On October 2nd, 1991, Vivid Bharati Panaji became a CBS channel. On October 2nd, 1992, commissioning of FM channel at Jalandhar. January 10th, 1993, introduction of phone-in program at All India Radio, Delhi was started. And January 28, 1993, commissioning of Vivid Bharati channel at Varanasi took place. And on April 1st, 1993, the 150th station of All India Radio inaugurated at Berhampur, Orissa. August 15th, 1993, introduction of selling of time slots on FM channel to private parties at Delhi and Mumbai was initiated. On September 1st, 1993, time slot channels on FM channel to private parties was started at Chennai. April 1st, 1994, Sky Radio became operational. On July 25th, 1994, time slots on FM channel to private parties at Kolkata was also started. September 1994, multi-track recording studio commissioned at Mumbai. September 28, 1994, four 500 kilowatt superpower shortwave transmitters at Bangalore inaugurated, making Bangalore one of the biggest transmitting centers in the world. November 13, 1994, time slots on FM channel to private parties was initiated at Panaji station. January 15, 1995, radio paging service was inaugurated. And August 5, 1995, multi-track recording studios inaugurated at Chennai. And 1995, All India Radio introduced Akashvani Awards for the Best Audience Research Survey Report. On February 1st, 1996, foundation stone was laid for the new broadcasting house in Delhi. On May 2nd, 1996, launching of All India Radio online information service on internet. On January 13th, 1997, audio in real time on internet service was also started. On November 23rd, 1997, Prasar Bharati Corporation came into existence. On January 26, 1998, Radio on Demand service on second FM channel was also started. On February 25th, 1998, All India Radio News on telephone live on internet was also started. On April 1998, sale of time slots on FM stopped. On August 29, 1998, Prasar Bharati Bill was passed by Lok Sabha on 31st July 1998 and made operational through an ordinance. On June 1999, Sri R.R. Shah, IAS, named officiating member executive. Private FM channels were announced by the Government of India. August 15, 1999, radio station commissioned at Kurajhar in Bodoland Autonomous Council areas. On August 15, 1999, radio station commissioned at the second FM channels commissioned at Delhi and Calcutta. November 1999, All India Radio launched a daily Malayalam service for the Gulf region. It consists of a 10 minutes news bulletins at 23:15 hours, that is night 11 at 11:15, followed by a 5 minutes commentary on a topical issue. If we look at 2007 to 2007, the important milestones were February 11th, 2000, introduction of VB channel at All India Radio Jabalpur. And on March 13, 2000, radio station commissioned at Dubri in Bodoland Autonomous Council area. And March 24, 2000, introduction of VB channel at All India Radio Jammu. June 2000, community radio stations commissioned at Nongston and William Nagar in Meghalaya, Saiha, Mizoram, Tensang and Mo in Nagaland. On July 17th, 2000, Regional Staff Training Institute Technical started functioning at Bhubaneswar, Orissa. On August 15, 2000, introduction of VB channel at All India Radio Coimbatore. On September 3rd, 2000, introduction of VB channel at All India Radio Jamshedpur. On 7th February 2001, radio station commissioned at Gopeshwar, Chamoli in newly created state of Uttaranchal. September 1st, 2001, All India Radio launched infotainment channels and FM2 at the 4 metros Delhi, Chennai, Kolkata and Mumbai. November 12, 2001, this day was declared as a Public Service Broadcasting Day to commemorate Gandhiji visit to All India Radio. Museum of Radio and Doordarshan were also inaugurated. On 27th February 2002, All India Radio launched its first ever digital satellite home service to cater to the Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia. On July 2022, 75 years of broadcasting was celebrated. On April 2003, Marketing Division of Prasar Bharati was inaugurated. On January 26, 2004, Bhasha Bharati channel of All India Radio launched at Delhi. On the same day, Classical Music channel was also launched at Bangalore. On February 19, 2004, Sri Brijeshwar Singh IAS took over the DG All India Radio, the Director General. March 29, 2004, National Artists Award ceremony was held at Hyderabad. April 1, 2004, launch of Kisan Vani program was launched from 12 stations. May 25th, 2004, 20 kilowatts megawatt transmission at Kupwara commissioned to strengthen radio coverage in the border area of Jammu and Kashmir. September 6, 2004, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting laid foundation stone for 10 kilowatt FM transmitter at Vijayawada. December 16, 2004, Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh inaugurated DTH service of All India Radio and Doordarshan. 12 All India Radio channels in different regional languages from various state capitals were made available countrywide through the KU band on DTH platform of Prasar Bharati. 15th June 2005, FM transmitter commissioned at Port Blair, Himmatnagar, Saraipalli, Mandla, Rajgarh, Agartala, and Impal. On 9th July 2005, 1 kilowatt FM transmitter was commissioned at Shimla. On 15th August 2005, FM transmitter commissioned at Udaipur, Rohtak, Gulbarga, Aurangabad, and Madurai. On 23rd August 2005, new broadcasting house equipped with digital studio setup for news service division, external service, and home service inaugurated by the Honorable Minister of Information and Broadcasting and Culture. On 2nd September 2005, 1 kilowatt FM transmitter was commissioned at Gorakhpur. On 23rd December 2005, 1 kilowatt FM transmitter commissioned at Diogar in Orissa. On 25th December 2005, 5 kilowatt FM transmitter was commissioned at both Hyderabad in Andhra Pradesh, now Telangana, and Kursing in West Bengal. 27th December 2005, 10 kilowatt FM transmitter commissioned at Shillong in Meghalaya and 1 kilometer transmitter commissioned at Darjeeling in West Bengal. On 15th and 16th February 2006, Commonwealth Broadcasting Association Conference was held at New Delhi. On 17 June 2006, 1 kilowatt FM transmitter commissioned at Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh. On 30th June 2006, uplinking of DTH channel increased from 12 channels to 20 channels. On 11th July 2006, 1 kilowatt FM transmitter commissioned at Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh. On 1st September 2006, 200 kilowatt megawatt transmitter commissioned at Kargil, Jammu and Kashmir, and 1 kilowatt megawatt transmitters commissioned at Dras and Taisru, that is Jammu and Kashmir. On 2nd October 2006, 20 kilowatt megawatt transmitter commissioned at Kota, Rajasthan. And in 2007, from January to December 2007, new stations with FM transmitters commissioned at Tamil Nadu, Dharmapur, Macharla, Andhra Pradesh, and Aurangabad, Bihar. FM transmitters commissioned at existing stations at Itanagar, Arunachal Pradesh, Aizawl, Mizoram, Kohima, Nagaland, Baripada, Orissa, Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh, and Puducherry. Existing FM transmitters at Chennai, that is 5 kilowatts FM transmitter of FM Gold and 10 kilowatts FM transmitter of FM Rainbow replaced by 20 kilowatt FM transmitters. Existing 5 kilowatt FM transmitters of FM Gold service at Kolkata was also replaced by 20 kilowatt FM transmitter. New station with 1 kilowatt megawatt transmitter commissioned at Soro, Orissa. Existing 1000 kilowatt megawatt transmitters at Delhi and Raipur, Chhattisgarh replaced with new state-of-the-art technology transmitters. As part of Jammu and Kashmir special package for boosting border coverage, new stations with 1 kilowatt megawatt transmitters at Neoma and Diskit in Leh region commissioned. In 2008, from January to December 2008, FM transmitter at Leh, Jammu and Kashmir was commissioned. A 200 kilowatt megawatt transmitter commissioned replacing 100 kilowatt megawatt transmitter at Najibabad. As part of Jammu and Kashmir special package for boosting border coverage, a new station with 1 kilowatt megawatt transmitter commissioned at Padum in Kargil. With this, all 12 projects included in Jammu and Kashmir Special Package Phase 1 was commissioned. Digital captive stations at Leh, Varanasi, Rohtak and Aurangabad were commissioned. New uplink stations at Dehradun and Silchar were under implementation. A new DTH channel, Radio Kashmir, Srinagar, added in the direct-to-home service of All India Radio. There are now 21 radio channels available in the countrywide through the KU band DTH platform of Prasara Bharati, that is DD Plus, benefiting the listeners of all over India. In 2009, from January to December, new station with FM kilowatt megawatt transmitter commissioned at Oras in Maharashtra. Computerization of all India radio stations and offices in progress to facilitate online exchange of information and improvement of efficiency. And permanent studio facilities equipped with digital equipment and computerized hard disk workstations for recording, dubbing, editing and playback were provided at Jaipur, Rajasthan and Tawang in Arunachal Pradesh. In 2010, from January to December, an exclusive dedicated FM channel, Air FM Delhi, with 1 kilowatt transmitter installed at All India Broadcasting House, Delhi. This channel was available on 100.1 megahertz in the national capital region. The following new transmitters were installed in 2010. Surachandpur, Manipur 6 kilowatt FM transmitter, studio, and Barmaur, Himachal Pradesh 100 watts FM transmitter was installed, and Keelong, Himachal Pradesh 100 watts FM transmitter was installed, and Ooty, Tamil Nadu 100 watts FM transmitter was installed. Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu 100 watts FM transmitter was installed. All India Radio news on phone service was made available at 14 places like Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Patna, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, Jaipur, Bangalore, Thiruvananthapuram, Impal, Lucknow, Raipur, Guwahati and Shimla. In 2011 to 2000 January to December, coverage of World Cup cricket was done on All India Radio, and FM Gold started 24-hour service from 2nd October 2011. In 2012, Bangladesh recognizes Akashvani for its contribution to the Bangladesh Liberation War on 27th March 2012 at Dhaka. Sri L.D. Mandloy, DG, All India Radio, received the award at the special ceremony in Dhaka. So these were the historical milestones that transformed All India Radio to the largest broadcaster in the world And there are other milestones also, but due to constraints, I am not taking up. Let's look into other areas of All India Radio. As we already discussed, as India's national broadcaster and also the premier public broad service broadcaster, All India Radio has been serving to inform, educate, and entertain the masses since its inception, truly living up to motto Bhujan Hitya and Bhujan Sukhya, one of the largest broadcasting organizations in the world in terms of number of languages of broadcast and the spectrum of socio-economic and cultural diversity. It serves All India Radio's home service comprising of 479 stations today across the country, reaching nearly 92% of the country area and 99.19% of the total population. As already discussed, All India Radio originates programming in 23 languages and 179 dialects. And what is the mission of All India Radio? To provide information, education, entertainment from promoting the welfare and happiness of the masses. All India Radio strives to uphold the unity of the country and democratic values enshrined in the Constitution, present a fair and balanced flow of information of national, regional, local, and international interest, including contrasting views without advocating any opinion or ideology of its own, promote the interests and concerns of the entire nation, being mindful of the need for harmony and understanding within the country, and ensuring that the programs reflect the varied elements which make composite culture of India. Produce and transmit varied programs designed to awaken, inform, enlighten, educate, entertain, and enrich all sections of the people. Produce and transmit programs relating to developmental activities in all their facets, including extension work in agriculture, education, health, and family welfare, and science and technology. Serve the rural, illiterate, and underprivileged population, keeping in the mind of the special needs and interest of the young, social, and cultural minorities, the tribal population, and those residing in the border regions, backward or remote areas. Promote social justice and combat exploitation, inequality, and such evils as untouchability and parochial loyalties. Promote national integration and serve the rural population, minority communities, women, children, illiterate, as well as other weaker and vulnerable sections. So this is the mission of All India Radio. And when we look at the broadcasting system of All India Radio, broadly divided into, can be classified into three: national broadcast, regional broadcast, and local broadcast. When we look at the national programs, national broadcasting, national programs are the broadcast from Delhi for relay by the capital, regional, and local stations. Some of these are national programs of talks and features in Hindi and English. The national programs of drama, music, etc. The regional broadcasting consists of the regional stations in different states from the middle tier of broadcasting. They originate programs in the regional languages and dialects. Regional channels are located in major linguistic cultural region of every state. 116 regional channels are spread over 29 states and 6 union territories, including the Northeastern Service at Shillong, that projects the vibrant cultural heritage of the northeastern region of the country. The regional channels broadcast largely on the medium wave frequency, follow a composite program pattern comprising of music, classical, light, folk, and film, news and current affairs, radio plays, features, farm and home programs, programs on health and family welfare, and programs for women and children, etc. In under local broadcasting, local radio is relatively a new newer concept of broadcasting in India. Local radio stations serve small communities, showcase local culture, and broadcast area-specific programs for the benefit of the community. The transmission is in the FM mode. The programming is flexible and spontaneous, and the station functions as the mouthpiece of the local community. At present, there are 86 local stations spread across the country. So as we have already discussed, the radio network consists of home services, Vivid Bharati services, external services, and other services. Under home services, uh, we have North region services, East region services, Northeast services, West region services, and South region services. And under Vivid Bharati services, we have a lot of services and external service for the rest of the world, world service and neighborhood services, and other services like already discussed FM Rainbow, FM Gold, Urdu service, FM Classical Music are the different radio networks under All India Radio. Now, what are the various services offered by the All India Radio? Live streaming services, news services, direct to home All India Radio service, primary channels are there, Vivid Bharati channels, and digital service, FMA. So when we look at live streaming, just a second. At present, there are 17 All India Radio channels which are being live streamed through All India Radio website. That is allindiaradio.gov.in and mobile app All India Radio Live available on Android and iOS platforms. So, what are 17 channels? Channels being live streamed are Vivid Bharati, FM Gold, FM Rainbow, All India Radio Urdu, All India Radio in short air, uh, Gujarati, Air Marathi, Air Punjabi, Air Malayalam, Air Tamil, Air Telugu, Air Kannada, AIR Bangla, Ragam, AIR Odia, Radio Kashmir, AIR Assamese, and Northeastern services. Now, all these 17 All India radio channels are also available for Alexa users worldwide across India, United States, United Kingdom, Australia, and Canada through voice controlled speakers. All you need to say the following, and Alexa enabled speaker shall play the corresponding live broadcast station. So if you want to know the Alexa commands for just few examples, so you can just give the command to Alexa, Alexa open All India Radio with Bharati, or Alexa open All India Radio FM Gold, or Alexa open All India Radio Telugu, or Alexa open All India Radio Kannada. Like that, you can just give the command so that Alexa will play the corresponding station for you. And when All India Radio was transforming and adopting the new technology, the news, which is a primary service of the All India Radio, has contributed a lot by providing news to the entire nation. All India Radio now, which is now under Prasar Bharati, has the distinction of being one of the major broadcasting organizations in the world. The News Services Division, NSD, of All India Radio disseminates news and comments to the listeners in India and abroad. From 27 news bulletins in 1939 to 40, All India Radio today puts more than 510 bulletins daily around 52 hours in 82 languages, dialects in the home, regional and external services. Out of these, 89 bulletins are broadcasted daily from Delhi in the home service in English, Hindi, and other Indian languages. The 44 regional news units, RNUs, put out 355 daily new bulletins in 67 languages. This includes news bulletins mounted exclusively on FM Gold channel from 22 All India radio stations. In addition to the daily news bulletins, the News Services Division also mounts every day a number of news-based programs on topical subjects from Delhi and other regional units. When we see the history of news broadcasting in India is much older than that of All India Radio. The first ever news bulletin in the country went on the air from Bombay station on July 23rd, 1927 under a private company, the Indian Broadcasting Company. A month later, on August 26, 1927, another bulletin in Bengali was started from the Calcutta station. Until 1935, two bulletins, one each in English and Hindustani, were broadcast from the Bombay, and a bulletin in Bengali was broadcast from Calcutta. The Indian Broadcasting Company went into liquidation as already discussed in March 1930, following which broadcasting came under the direct control of Government of India. The service was designated as the Indian State Broadcasting Service, and it was renamed as All India Radio on June 8, 1936. So the real breakthrough in news broadcasting came after January 1936, when the first news bulletin from the Delhi station went on the air on January 19th, 1936, coinciding the starting of its transmission. Besides news bulletins in English and Hindustani, talks on current affairs were also started from the station in both the languages. The Central News Organization, as discussed, was set up on August 1st, 1937. Mr. Charlie Barnes took charge of the first news editor in September, and he later became the first director of the news. The outbreak of the Second World War in 1939 gave an impetus to the development of the organization. The monitoring service was set up in 1939 to monitor foreign broadcasts. In 1943, the external monitoring service was set up in 1939 to monitor foreign broadcast. In 1943, the external broadcast unit was set up under the Director of News. By 1945, the Central News Organizations was handling news bulletins in different languages as well as in external services. After independence, news broadcasts of All India Radio grew both in quantity and quality. More emphasis was laid on national and regional news bulletins. So we will not go in detail about, there are other services like in news, regional bulletins, external bulletins, bulletins of FM radio, bulletins on FM Gold, news-based programs, coverage of parliament proceedings, radio newsreel, news on phone service, new facilities like facilities for inclusion of phone-ins, and has a arrangement for holding radio bridge conferences on special occasions. So the bulk of the All India Radio news comes from its own correspondents spread all over the country. It has 90 regular correspondents in India and 5 abroad at Colombo, Dhaka, Dubai, Kathmandu, Kabul. Apart from this, All India Radio has 500 part-time correspondents based at nearly all district headquarters. The PTCs are to meet the requirements of the Doordarshan News also. NSD subscribes to the news agencies like UNI, PTI, and other corresponding Hindi services like Univarta and Bhasha and ANI to make it bulletins broad-based. Another source of news are the monitoring units, English and Hindi, attached to the general newsroom and central monitoring services, which monitor the bulletins of major broadcasting organizations of the world. A radio news exchange program was initiated with the members of Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union to broaden the news coverage. An information technology unit was set up at the Delhi to take care of the IT requirements of NSD. The unit has set up an internal website to cater to the news requirements of regional news units and others. So that is regarding news services. And with regard to DTH, we know DTH is offered through various frequencies at 11,090 and 11,170, 11,470, 11,510 and 11,630, which is 11,090 is All India Radio News, Telugu, Marathi, Tamil, VBS, Rohtak, Vijayawada, Imphal, like that in similar way. Each frequency, there are a couple of stations which provides All India direct to home services. So that is a DTH. And when we look at the primary stations, primary channels, existing primary stations, total as of now, total 116 primary stations are there in Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam. So here the major, the primary stations are there. In Andhra Pradesh, Kadapa, Hyderabad, the two stations, Kottagudem, Vijayawada, Visakhapatnam. So the population coverage for Kadapa station with capacity of 100 kilowatt megawatt is covering 1,57,000 lakhs. And similarly, Hyderabad, two stations, A and B, Kottagudem, Vijayawada, Visakhapatnam. In Arunachal Pradesh, Itanagar, Pasighat, Tawang, Tezu. In Assam, Dibrugarh, Guwahati, A and B, two stations, Pokrajgarh, Silchar, Tezpur. So these are the primary channels. And yes, and we were talking about Vivid Bharati, the primary entertainer. So we looked at the news service, and we are looking at the entertainment part. Vivid Bharati service of All India Radio is the largest entertainment network of the nation. Since its inception in 1957, Vivid Bharati has been providing popular and melodious entertainment to the listeners. It is not supporting that news magazine India Today in its special issue published on the 50th anniversary of India's independence, included with Vivid Bharati as one of the 50 most important and well-known that make India proud. The magazine says it is telling statement that in the era of unstoppable onslaught of television, satellite television, radio rules in vast part of India. No other single program has beamed itself across the country for more than 30 uninterrupted years as had Vivid Bharati. The entertainment program presenting a mix of film music, skits, short plays and other features broadcast 24 hours countrywide, which is much greater than the present reach of FM radio, restricted to metros. Not just longevity, Vivid Bharati is about bringing connectivity and entertainment to India masses that need only to fork out less than rupees 200 or less for a tiny receiver to feel like they belong to a greater scheme of things and that there's someone joy in the life in India's vast rural beyond. Now, FM radio is accessible even in mobiles and on laptops, PCs through internet. And Vivid Bharati service offers much more beyond film music to masses. Jaymala, Hawa Mahal, Inse Miliye, Sangeet Sarita, Bhule Bisre Geet, Chitralok, Chaya Geet are few of the many popular programs which were and are part of the listener's daily life, generation after generation. From 5th October 2008, Vivid Bharati programs were available on DTH, making Vivid Bharati a 24 hours popular musical channel. Vivid Bharati, it, with its wide network consisting of 37 Vivid Bharati centers and some local radio stations, now reaches more than 97% of population in this country. Vivid Bharati programs are also very popular in the neighboring countries as listeners who listen to it through shortwave network have been writing appreciation letters to All India Radio regularly. So the coverage is not just to India, but the neighboring countries which receive the signals, the coverage also enjoy these programs. So we can see lot of famous artists were featured at Vivid Bharati in programs like Sangeet Sarita, आज के मेहमान, सरगम के सितारे, उजाले उनकी यादों के, स्पेशल जयमाला, इनसे मिलिए, hit super hit, favorite five. These are the very popular programs in which a lot of famous celebrities and artists were featured at Vivid Bharati. And as you know, as we discussed, we have 37 Vivid Bharati stations or centers at Ahmedabad, Allahabad, Bangalore, Bhopal, Chandigarh, Chennai, Cuttack, Delhi, Dharwad, Guwahati, Hyderabad, Indore, Jabalpur, Jaipur, Jalandhar, Jammu, Jamshedpur, Jodhpur, Kanpur, Kolkata, Kozhikode, that is Calicut, Lucknow, Mumbai, Nagpur, Panaji, Patna, Pune, Rajkot, Ranchi, Siliguri, Srinagar, Surat, Trivandrum, Udaipur, Vadodara, Varanasi, Vijayawada. So total 37 commercial units of All India Radio are available, which accepts bookings on All India basis through a single window for all channels and stations. So these commercial broadcasting service of All India Radio is responsible for generating commercial revenue and remittance of service tax on commercial receipts. In the commercial setup of All India Radio, there are 15 commercial broadcasting centers, service centers at Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Bhopal, Chandigarh, Cuttack, Chennai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Jaipur, Kanpur, Kolkata, Mumbai, Patna, Srinagar and Thiruvananthapuram, which undertake booking, billing, account keeping of revenue and through commercial advertisements by their linked All India's radio stations across the country. There is also central sales unit at Mumbai, which accepts booking on all India basis through a single video for all channels, stations of All India Radio. For comprehensive details pertaining to commercial advertisements, a dedicated site is also available at csuaar.org.in. So there you can look about the commercial aspects. And as times went on with the adoption of technology, digital transmission also started. And in shortwave band, significant improvement in reception, coverage of All India Radio programs was also expected. People can listen to near FM quality programs of above services by tuning the respective frequencies on DRM radio receivers only. Reception reports on technical quality of the transmission on the above frequencies are welcome and can be sent to the Deputy Director General, Spectrum Management and Synergy, through email. So there was a migration to digital radio. A study group called subgroup on the ongoing digital was set up by Planning Commission to study the digitalization of broadcast industry. The subgroup was headed by Member Secretary Planning Commission, and the subgroup has laid down the migration path from analog transmission to digital domain. 2017 has been given the target for complete switchover to the digital mode. So most of the digitalization has commenced. And the last service, FM Rainbow, it is very popular among urban youth, aged and all ages. The FM Rainbow channel of All India Radio was launched at a time when radio listening was on the decline, especially in big cities. Technological improvements in the field of sound recording tempted young music lovers to opt for other modes of listening to the music. So hi-fi stereo sound on digital electronic equipments became preferred and fashionable. FM transmission on radio effectively served this purpose by ensuring noise-free, high-quality reception to its listeners. All India Radio was a pioneer in bringing FM radio to the listeners in the country. The first FM channel was launched on an experimental basis in 1977 in Chennai. The local radio stations of All India Radio, which had their beginning in 1984, were all based on FM technology. They introduced the concept of community radio using FM transmitter, which provided local limited coverage focused on the needs of the local populace and served the community effectively. Listeners of All India Radio thus got exposed to high fidelity sound quality for the first time. FM transmission subsequently got a huge boost with the opening up of radio broadcast to private players, and private FM radio channels were also started. All India Radio launched the first FM Rainbow channel on 1st February 1993. This was a channel to cater primarily to the young listeners on the move. The radio jockey, RJ, replaced the announcer. The presentation style became a fast-paced and informal to suit the changing listener profile. The vibrant programming and the quality reception caught the imagination of the youngsters and allured them to come closer to their radio. In its round-the-clock broadcast, radio listeners were served with a varied menu of new formats of entertainment. At present, All India Radio have 497 FM transmitters across the country, by which it covers 39% of the area and 52% of the population of the country. FM Rainbow is originated from 23 centers at Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, Bengaluru, Lucknow, Panaji, Jalandhar, Kanpur, Kochi, Puducherry, Shillong, Chandigarh, Cuttack, Kodaikanal, Tiruchirappalli, Coimbatore, Hyderabad, Visakhapatnam, Raebareli, Madurai, Tirunelveli, and Vijayawada. Besides this, Delhi Rainbow is also relayed fully from Mussoorie, Aligarh, and partly from Dharmashala, Srinagar, and Bathinda. So the programming of FM Rainbow includes pop music, film songs, classical and devotional music, news headlines, informal chat shows, phone-in programs, etc. All India Radio FM Rainbow commands an impressive listening and holds it among the private FM channels. Now, All India Radio has a strict broadcast code by individuals. So broadcasting code on All India Radio by individuals will not permit the following. So you cannot use the All India Radio for criticism of friendly countries, attack on religion or communities, anything obscene or defamatory, incitement of violence or anything against maintenance of law and order, anything amount to the contempt of court, aspersion against the integrity of the president, governors and judiciary, attack on a political party by name, hostile criticisms of any state or the center, anything showing disrespect to the constitution or advocating change in the constitution by violent means, but advocating changes in a constitutional way should not be barred. While station directors would have the powers to refuse a broadcast which does not respect the code, a dispute involving a minister of the state government has to be referred to the Minister for Information and Broadcasting for final decision. This constitutes of All India Broadcast Code. And International Relations Unit of All India Radio deals with the international activities connected with the program wing of All India Radio. Its functions include processing as well as the coordination required for the participation of All India Radio officials in international events, conferences, training workshops, etc., and participation of All India Radio programs in international competitions, organizing in-country workshops, conferences, events in India, hospitality and coordination of the visits of dignitaries from other countries, activities and formalities concerning All India Radio, All India Radio's membership with international media bodies, implementation of the matters concerning cultural exchange programs, agreements and memoranda of understanding with foreign countries, organizations, etc., are taken up by the International Relations Unit of All India Radio. And also, not only just for code for individuals, but also code for commercial advertising also exists. So in which all the rules and regulations, code of standards, guidelines, tariff rates, everything is mentioned. And let's finally look at the opportunities. All India Radio has been playing a very important role in the propagation and preservation of music in general, and the rich classical music and folk music traditions in particular. Many eminent artists have been associated with the organization like Pandit Ravi Shankar, Pandit Pannalal Ghosh, Acharya Brahaspati Madhuri, Veena Doraiswamy Iyengar, Dr. Srinivas Iyer, G.N. Balasubramaniam, Shankar Shastri, Sumati Matkar, Voleti Venkateshwarlu, and many more, to just mention a few who have contributed immensely towards achieving the goal of All India Radio in its direction. With its initiative taken by the Information and Broadcasting Minister, B.V. Keshkar, National Program of Music, a 90 minutes feast of classical music was started in 1952 for broadcast all over India on Saturdays from 9:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. And presently, it is broadcasted on Sundays also. On the similar lines, National Program of Regional Light and Folk Music is broadcast on every first Thursday of the month from 9:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. in a pioneering effort as an experimentation to harmonize the rich and beautiful Indian melodies and present them as orchestral compositions. Vadya Vrinda unit was started in 1952 in Delhi and later in Chennai in 1975. These units have a number of artists playing on different instruments, which not only was an effort towards keeping alive and showcasing many rare instruments for prosperity, but also to provide job opportunities to many artists. It is again a matter of pride that many eminent artists have been part of the Vadya Vrinda units at Delhi and Chennai, and Vadya Vrinda compositions of Pandit Ravi Shankar, Kanalal Ghosh, Jairam Iyer, Anil Biswas, Shankar Shastri, Sehgal, Rama Shastri, and others have been preserved in the archives of All India Radio, which stand as a testimony to their creative excellence and mastery. Akashwani Sangeet Sammelan is an annual music event organized all over the country featuring both eminent artists and upcoming youngsters from the stream of Hindustani and Carnatic classical music. This was started in 1955 and a very prestigious and much sought of after event for both artists and the classical music lovers. Tyagaraja Aradhana Music Festival, a live broadcast from Tiruvayur, a Samadhi place of Saint Tyagaraja, is also an annual event in the month of January. The Trinity and other Vadgayakara Festival is a 3-day event held in the month of April every year at different venues featuring compositions of Carnatic music Trinity Tyagaraja, Muthuswami and Dikshitar and Shama Sastri, along with many other composers of the post-Trinity period, in order to give variety of compositions to the committed and devoted listeners. The Folk and Light Music Festival is again an annual event organized by all over country during the month of July to bring the four core varieties of light and folk formats across the country in its splendor and grandeur. To scout young talents and give them encouragement, All India Radio has been organizing the All India Radio Music Competition every year during August in different disciplines like classical, light, folk, vocal, and instrumental. And it's a matter of great pride that the present day stars in the field of music are mostly prize winners of the prestigious All India Radio Music Competition. All India Radio has a time tested and much acclaimed music audition system in order to select the artists, grade them, and offer broadcast engagements. The audition rules in vogue are available on the site. The revised rules are being framed. You can visit All India Radio website or Prasara Bharati website at prasarabharati.gov.in for the rules. There are 4 grades: B, B high, A, and top awarded to the artisans, which is purely based on the performance quality adjudged by the committee of eminent musicians, experts in the field. Recently, a few artists have been awarded the National Artist Honor, keeping in view their seniority and contribution for the cause and promotion of classical music, Carnatic, and Hindustan. All India Radio has also has also top grade Western music artists, classical and light from the Eastern zone, besides a few A grade and B high grade artists in different disciplines. The Central Archives of All India Radio has a rich treasure of very valuable and rare recordings of the artists preserved for prosperity. These recordings are now being made available to the music lovers through releases in the form of CDs as Akashwani Sangeet. Now, the music lovers can reach All India Radio for different opportunities. And further information can be obtained by the on the All India Radio website or Prasar Bharati website. Now, not only just music, there are vast opportunities in drama which is provided by the All India Radio. Radio drama depicts the reflection of life in all spheres from very vast field of India and the world. The variety of themes such as social, historical, mythological, biographical, folk, abstract, science and fictions, and family melodrama. The quality of presentation and the ability to create mental pictures through words, sound effects, and music is also called radio drama. Many stations of All India Radio broadcast plays in Hindi and other regional languages. Radio adaptation of classics, novels, short stories, and stage plays are also some of the highlights of the radio broadcast. Besides original plays, a large number of All India radio stations regularly broadcast family dramas with the object of eradicating deep-rooted social evils and blind beliefs prevailing in the society. Serials projecting current socio-economic issues are also broadcast on a regular basis. The National Program of Plays is an important program of radio. The first NPP Prafulla, a Bangla stage play by Girish Chandra Ghosh, was broadcasted in July 1956. Since then, the National Program of Plays is broadcast on every fourth Thursday of every month at 9:30 p.m. from all stations of All India Radio. The broadcast is in Hindi and its translation in all regional languages as well as on the same day, date and time. So through this NPP, the national integrity, harmony and colors of unity in diversity are presented to the listeners. Now auditions of applicants should be held at least twice in a year, and the stations would maintain a confidential register containing the name and particulars of each applicant, date of audition, grade recommended, and the remarks of the program head of the station. This register would be kept in the personal custody of PX in charge of drama section. It would be put to the head of the station at the end of each audition. So the audition should be conducted anonymously and the candidates be identified through coded roll numbers to be allotted personally by the head of the station and should be kept strictly confidential. And re-audition, an unsuccessful candidate can appear for re-audition after 1 year from the date of his or her last audition. A candidate who is unsuccessful 3 times will not be allowed to reappear for the audition. For purposes of upgrading to B high category, approved candidate can appear for audition after 1 year of his or her previous audition by paying proper audition fee. But upgradation to A and top category will be done by the directorate as laid down in the para 10 of the memo. Classified, as we have already seen, the classification of artists as top category, A category, B high category, B category, and juvenile category. So there are various other rules and regulations. And also there is an important section weeding out of B grade drama artists. Station can review the performance of B grade artists who have been in the same grade for more than 5 years by calling them for re-audition. If in the re-audition the artist is not found suitable even after retention of B grade artist, she may be weeded out by the recommendation of drama audition committee. If a well-known drama artist of a foreign broadcasting organization visits an All India radio station and if there is a felt need to book him or her in a play, she may be offered the fee of an A-class artist as a matter of courtesy. And any exercise in PR in this regard is to be strictly avoided. Now we have seen opportunities in music, drama, and also we have enormous opportunity for commentators or anchors or announcers or RJs or including all. Sports Cell, Directorate General Air facilitates All India Radio facilitates the coverage including live radio commentary of various national, international sports events on the national hookup. For broadcasting the live radio commentary, All India Radio needs to acquire radio broadcast rights from the rights holder or the permission request from the organizers. Once rights are acquired, appropriate arrangements are made for the coverage of that particular sports event on the national hookup. Efforts are made to provide clear information to the listeners, public through print and electronic media about the live coverage of important sports events. Air All India Radio empanels commentators in Hindi and English for the various sports disciplines like cricket, football, hockey, tennis, badminton, basketball, volleyball, kho, kabaddi, etc. The empanelment of commentators is processed by the Directorate General, All India Radio, from amongst the potential talent approved screened by the independent screening committees, constituted from time to time for different sports disciplines. Any potential talent intending to offer his or her services as sports commentator is required to approach the nearest All India radio station with a request for audition in the specific sports event. Auditioned and approved commentators are placed by the respective screening committees in various grades such as national, international, zonal, and local based on their performance. So the services of empaneled commentators are used by All India Radio on assignment basis as and when required, and due remuneration is paid to them in accordance with the fee structure of All India Radio. So with these opportunities, All India Radio also provides a lot of opportunities for the different segments of population. So yeah, it's very good time. Hope you all enjoyed. And there is a lot that we can discuss on All India Radio about history and its services. It's doing wonderful job of entertaining, education, information, and a lot. So hope you all have enjoyed the session. And if you have any queries, you can unmute yourself, or you can share your observation, feedback in the chat box, or by raising hand, or by unmuting yourself. If there are no queries, then we'll conclude. Kindly find the feedback form link in the chat box. Yeah, which country started radio in the world? We have seen that British BBC, and that was the very first thing. Actually, World War has created the need for the radio, and who can start? Any individual, any citizen of India can apply to the Information Ministry of Information Broadcasting and the director of INB, and where you can apply, take the license, and you need to pay for. There are a lot of formalities. You can visit the website and you can get all the information. You can download the information from there. And it also depends on the kind of content, whether it is news content or non-news content. Depends on news channels, or rules and regulations are very uh, broad and strict. I mean, you need to follow various news guidelines. Non-news, okay, music and other things, they are comparatively easy, because once news, even other FM channels are also not allowed to broadcast any news. Only All India Radio is only uh, broadcaster that can broadcast the news. Others can just say in comment, or but as a news program, no radio channel is permitted to broadcast the news. As far as I know, I mean, maybe I can I may be also partly wrong because of the recent changes, if any. Otherwise, as far as I know, no channel is permitted in private this thing. So kindly find the feedback form, the chat box, and thank you everyone for joining us. And after this session, let's tune into your favorite radio station and enjoy. Thank you once again, everyone, on behalf of Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute and Center for Art Sciences and Well-being. Kindly fill up the feedback form in the chat box. Take care. Good night. See you all tomorrow at the same time with a different topic on weekdays. And tomorrow we have international conference at 11 o'clock. So we invite you everyone to join at 11 o'clock. Sundays we have from 11 to 5. So we will be having wonderful sessions empaneled by eminent speakers. So do join at 11 o'clock with the same link. So link is same for all the events. And you can also subscribe to Google Calendar. We have a Facebook group and we have social media pages where you can subscribe, follow them to receive regular updates on daily events. So kindly fill up the feedback form before you leave the platform and take care. Good night.